In an age where the pursuit of external validation often overshadows the search for inner growth, the concept of a high-value woman transcends superficial definitions. It is not about fitting societal molds or chasing fleeting ideals of beauty and success. Instead, it is about embodying the timeless principles that foster self-mastery and resilience. A high-value woman cultivates her mind, nurtures her spirit, and honors her worth in every aspect of her life. She does not seek to conform but to evolve, channeling the wisdom of ancient philosophy, like Stoicism, to guide her on a path of self-discovery and empowerment. To those who appreciate the depth of Stoic philosophy and the transformative power of self-discipline, a high-value woman embodies inner strength and purpose. She aligns herself with virtues such as courage, wisdom, and self-control, not as abstract ideals but as practical tools to navigate the complexities of modern existence. Her life is a testament to the belief that true fulfillment arises not from what one possesses but from who one becomes. She is the architect of her reality, weaving values and habits into a framework that supports her growth and amplifies her potential. This woman does not move through the world unnoticed. Her presence is magnetic, not because of external attributes, but because she exudes quiet confidence and unwavering authenticity. Wherever she goes, she leaves an imprint, a reminder that life's most significant achievements are born from the mastery of self. Her journey inspires others not through grand gestures, but through the elegance of her daily choices, the integrity of her actions, and the clarity of her purpose. Her willingness to embrace vulnerability and strength sets this archetype apart. She understands that life is not without its challenges, yet she chooses to meet them with grace, transforming adversity into opportunities for growth. Guided by principles prioritizing self-respect and intentional living, she cultivates habits that elevate her life and enrich those around her. In this exploration of the habits and mindsets of a high-value woman, we delve into the practices that empower her to live authentically, attract abundance, and foster meaningful connections. This is a guide and an invitation to step into a version of yourself that reflects your highest potential. By adopting these principles, you embark on a journey toward becoming a radiant force of purpose and resilience, embodying the values that transcend time and circumstance. Let us uncover what it truly means to be a high-value woman in a world longing for depth, meaning, and transformation. 1. Charisma and presence. The magnetic power of authenticity. Charisma is often mistaken for mere charm or social agility, but truthfully, it is a much deeper force. The silent resonance draws others toward you, not through pretense or manipulation, but through authenticity and an unwavering connection to your inner self. For a high-value woman, charisma is not a superficial skill to master but a natural outflow of her alignment with core virtues such as sincerity, wisdom, and compassion. She doesn't seek to impress. She aims to connect, on levels that transcend words and appearances, reaching into the essence of what it means to be human. Imagine walking into a room where all eyes turn not because of ostentation, but because of the quiet power exuded by a woman who is entirely at ease with herself. This is the essence of presence. It is not about commanding attention with force, but inviting others into the space of calm, poise, and authenticity you carry. A high-value woman moves through the world with an air of certainty, not arrogance, but self-awareness. She knows who she is, what she stands for, and how she wishes to shape her interactions with the world around her. Stoicism teaches us that our true power lies in mastering our internal state. A high-value woman applies this wisdom to cultivate a magnetic presence. She is attuned to her body language, understanding that her gestures, posture, and even the cadence of her speech speak volumes before she utters a word. She aligns her physical presence with her inner virtues, standing tall with grace and breathing deeply with intention. Her steady and thoughtful gaze signals a mind that listens deeply and a heart that seeks to understand. Developing charisma and presence requires deliberate practice. A high-value woman begins with small yet profound actions, softening her jaw to release tension, smiling genuinely to invite warmth, and walking as though her every step is purposeful. She speaks with clarity and conviction, valuing the power of silence as much as the impact of her words. In her interactions, she fosters a sense of trust and safety, creating an environment where others feel seen and valued. She knows genuine charisma is not about dazzling others but lighting a spark within them, awakening their best selves through her presence. This magnetic energy is rooted in authenticity. A high-value woman resists the urge to conform to societal expectations or perform for validation. Instead, she cultivates the courage to be unapologetically herself, understanding that her unique essence is her greatest asset. By embodying the Stoic principle of living by her true nature, she becomes an anchor of stability in an unpredictable world, a beacon of light and calm that inspires others to do the same. In her presence, people are not merely drawn to her. Her unwavering authenticity and grace transform themes. 2. Assertive communication, the art of speaking with clarity and confidence. Assertive communication is not merely about voicing opinions. It is about clarity, confidence, and respect for oneself and others. For a high-value woman, this skill is indispensable. It allows her to navigate relationships, set boundaries without guilt, and foster connections rooted in mutual respect. True assertiveness does not demand attention. It invites understanding. It reflects a mastery of self-awareness and the ability to articulate needs and emotions without undermining others or compromising her values. A high-value woman approaches communication as a delicate yet powerful art form. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, she understands that her words carry weight and must be chosen wisely. The Stoics remind us that speech should be used for truth, encouragement, and clarity, not for idle chatter or self-aggrandizement. She embraces this wisdom, speaking only when she has something meaningful to contribute and ensuring her message aligns with her inner principles. Consider a scenario where a high-value woman encounters disrespect or inattentiveness during a conversation. Instead of reacting with frustration or silence, she pauses, centers herself, and responds with intention. For instance, if a friend constantly interrupts her, she might say calmly but firmly, "I value our conversation, and I'd appreciate it if we both took the time to hear each other out fully." This approach is neither aggressive nor apologetic. It communicates her boundaries while maintaining the dignity of the relationship. Assertiveness also extends beyond words to include nonverbal cues. A high-value woman uses body language to reinforce her message, standing tall and maintaining steady eye contact. Her tone of voice is measured, neither too soft nor overly forceful, reflecting her confidence and self-respect. These subtleties ensure that her communication is received in words and as an embodiment of her authenticity and inner strength. This practice of assertive communication is transformative. It empowers her to navigate challenging situations without succumbing to anger or passivity. It allows her to advocate for herself while fostering harmony in her interactions. Most importantly, it builds a foundation of self-trust. She knows that her voice matters, and using it wisely reinforces her worth to others. In embracing assertive communication, the high-value woman becomes a model of empowered expression. She demonstrates that clarity and confidence are not about dominance but mutual understanding. Her words become an extension of her values. She creates a ripple effect through intentional communication, inspiring those around her to engage with more excellent style and purpose. This is the quiet strength of a woman who speaks to be heard, connect, and uplift. 3. Elevated beauty and style, a reflection of inner virtues. True beauty transcends physical appearance. It is a harmonious blend of self-respect, authenticity, and the energy you project into the world. For a high-value woman, cultivating beauty and style is not an act of vanity but a deliberate practice of self-expression and self-care. Inspired by Stoic principles, she views her external appearance as a reflection of her inner state, a testament to her discipline, grace, and attention to detail. Her style is not about following trends but creating a visual narrative alignment with her identity and values. A high-value woman understands that beauty begins from within. She prioritizes self-care as essential to well-being, treating her body as a temple that deserves nurturing and respect. This perspective aligns with the Stoic belief in maintaining one's health and physical condition as a duty to oneself and others. She radiates vitality and confidence through rituals, such as nourishing her body with wholesome food, practicing mindfulness, and maintaining a balanced lifestyle. This radiance is not artificial but the natural result of a life that aligns with her principles. When it comes to style, a high-value woman approaches it with intentionality and creativity. She carefully selects clothing that complements her physical features and embodies her philosophy. Each choice, from the fabrics she wears to the colors she favors, reflects her uniqueness and thoughtfulness. Her style is not about excess or extravagance but simplicity and elegance, echoing the Stoic value of moderation. She avoids the superficiality of dressing to impress others and instead dresses to honor herself. The beauty of a high-value woman lies in her ability to balance effort and ease. She knows that true elegance does not shout, it whispers. Her makeup enhances rather than conceals, and her accessories are carefully chosen, adding subtle accents to her overall presence. Yet, her beauty is never rigid or constrained. She allows space for spontaneity and joy, knowing authenticity is the most attractive quality. This elevated approach to beauty and style extends beyond the physical. It is how she carries herself, the grace she enters a room, and the warmth she exudes in her interactions. Her beauty is intensely magnetic because it comes from a place of self-love and self-respect. She is unapologetic in self-care, recognizing that when she feels her best, she is better equipped to serve others and live out her purpose. To embrace elevated beauty and style, a high-value woman focuses not on perfection but on connection with her inner self and the world around her. She understands that beauty is not static. It evolves as she grows. She creates a captivating and empowering presence by committing to her well-being and expressing her individuality through thoughtful style choices. In doing so, she transforms how she sees herself and inspires others to honor their unique beauty and potential. 4. Empathy and emotional intelligence. The power of understanding. Empathy is often mistaken for weakness in a world celebrating dominance and self-interest. Still, it is extraordinary strength for a high-value woman's path and emotional intelligence to navigate the complexities of human relationships with wisdom and grace. These qualities are not merely tools for connection. They are the foundation of her ability to inspire trust, foster harmony, and create genuine bonds. Her empathetic nature reflects her deep understanding of Stoic philosophy, where compassion and rationality coexist to form a balanced and thoughtful approach to life. A high-value woman listens not just to respond, but to understand honestly. She perceives the unspoken words, the subtle shifts in tone, and the emotions hidden beneath the surface. This depth of perception stems from her emotional intelligence, the ability to discern and manage her own emotions while remaining attuned to the feelings of others. She creates a safe space for vulnerability, where people feel seen and valued, knowing they are in the presence of someone who genuinely cares. However, her empathy is not without boundaries. Inspired by Stoic principles, she recognizes the importance of maintaining her inner peace and avoiding emotional overextension. She knows that while she can offer understanding and support, she cannot take on the burdens of others at the expense of her well-being. This balance allows her to engage deeply without becoming overwhelmed, ensuring her empathy is a source of strength rather than depletion. In practice, her empathy manifests in thoughtful actions and deliberate words. Imagine a friend sharing a challenging experience. Instead of offering empty platitudes, she might say, "I can see how challenging this is for you, and I admire your strength in facing it. How can I support you?" This response validates the friend's feelings while empowering them to take ownership of their journey. Her words are carefully chosen, reflecting both her understanding and her respect for the autonomy of others. Her emotional intelligence extends beyond personal relationships. In professional settings, it equips her to tactfully navigate conflicts, anticipate her team's needs, and foster collaboration and trust. She understands that emotions influence decisions, behaviors, and outcomes, and uses this awareness to lead with clarity and compassion. A high-value woman's empathy and emotional intelligence express her inner strength. They are not about pleasing others or avoiding conflict, but about creating meaningful connections that uplift and inspire. By combining compassion with wisdom, she embodies the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with others while maintaining her integrity and peace of mind. Her example teaches us that true strength lies in understanding others and ourselves. Through empathy and emotional intelligence, she becomes a beacon of kindness and resilience, illuminating a path for others to follow. Her presence makes people feel understood and empowered to rise above challenges and become their best versions. 5. Radical energy protection, safeguarding your vital force. Energy is the lifeblood of existence, a finite resource that fuels every thought, action, and pursuit. A high-value woman understands this deeply, treating her energy as a sacred asset to be guarded and cultivated with intention. In a world that constantly demands more, she prioritizes radical energy protection as an act of self-respect and a cornerstone of her well-being. This practice, rooted in Stoic philosophy, reminds her that while she cannot control external circumstances, she has complete agency over how she invests her vital force. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control. A high-value woman applies this principle to her energy, carefully choosing where and with whom she expends it. She recognizes that energy cannot be reclaimed once squandered on negativity. Toxic relationships, draining obligations, and fruitless endeavors are treated not as inevitable burdens but as choices to be reevaluated. With clarity and courage, she sets boundaries that protect her inner peace and ensure her energy flows toward what truly matters. This protection extends to her daily habits. She approaches her schedule with discernment, balancing productivity with rest. For her, saying no is not a rejection of others, but an affirmation of her priorities. When faced with invitations or requests that misalign her values or goals, she refuses, knowing that every no she speaks creates space for a more meaningful yes. This refusal to overextend herself is not selfishness, it is wisdom. Practically, she identifies and eliminates energy drains with precision. Perhaps it's the colleague who perpetually complains, the friend who takes without giving, or the habit of endlessly scrolling through social media. She resolves these, either limiting her exposure or reconfiguring the relationship dynamics. This deliberate pruning is complicated, but she knows that a garden flourishes only when carefully tended. Radical energy protection also means prioritizing renewal. A high-value woman schedules time for solitude, reflection, and activities that rejuvenate her spirit. Whether it's a morning meditation, a walk in nature, or a creative pursuit, she understands that energy must be replenished to sustain her vibrancy. She avoids overindulgence in distractions that leave her drained and instead seeks out experiences that nourish her mind, body, and soul. This intentional stewardship of her energy amplifies her impact on the world. When she does choose to engage, she brings her whole presence, offering clarity, warmth, and focus. Her ability to protect and channel her energy allows her to approach challenges with resilience and creativity. She is not exhausted by life's demands, but invigorated by her purposeful energy allocation. A high-value woman lives a productive and meaningful life by embracing radical energy protection. Life She teaches us that safeguarding our energy is not an indulgence but a necessity that enables us to show up fully for ourselves and others. In doing so, she becomes a source of inspiration, proving that a life lived with intention and care is a life of true power and fulfillment. 6. Non-Negotiable Standards, the pillars of self-worth. A high-value woman knows that the foundation of her life is built upon her standards, those unyielding principles that define her sense of self-worth and guide her every decision. These standards are not arbitrary. They are carefully chosen, rooted in her values, and reinforced by her deep understanding of what she deserves. To her, maintaining non-negotiable standards is not an act of defiance, but one of self-respect. It is a quiet declaration that her time, energy, and presence are valuable and will not be given to anyone who does not align with her worth. In Stoic philosophy, self-control and discernment are paramount. A high-value woman exemplifies these virtues by setting clear boundaries and consistently adhering to them. Whether in relationships, career, or personal growth, she refuses to compromise on what matters most. This unwavering commitment to her principles ensures that she remains grounded, even when facing external pressure to settle for less. Consider her approach to relationships. She does not tolerate disrespect, dishonesty, or emotional manipulation. If someone fails to meet her expectations of integrity and kindness, she does not waste time making excuses for them or doubting her worth. Instead, she calmly distances herself, understanding that letting go of what drains her is essential for creating space for what fulfills her. Her decisions are not driven by fear of loss, but by a deep trust in her ability to attract connections that reflect her values. Her standards extend to her professional life. She upholds excellence and refuses to participate in mediocrity. She values her work ethic, refuses to overextend herself for others' approval, and seeks opportunities that align with her passions and aspirations. In doing so, she creates a career of success and purpose. This steadfast adherence to her standards requires courage, especially in a world that often equates flexibility with kindness or compromise with cooperation. A high-value woman, however, understands the Stoic principle that virtue is not negotiable. She stands firm, knowing that by lowering her standards, she would only betray herself. Her refusal to accept less than she deserves is not arrogance. It is self-assurance born from a life aligned with her values. Living with non-negotiable standards also means she evaluates her behavior with the same rigor. She holds herself accountable, striving to embody the virtues she seeks in others. This self-discipline ensures that her standards are not hypocritical but deeply authentic. Her life reflects her commitment to growth, integrity, and self-respect. A high-value woman creates a life that resonates with meaning and fulfillment by maintaining these high standards. She teaches us that setting boundaries and honoring our worth are acts of profound courage and love. In choosing to live by her principles, she becomes a beacon of self-respect and empowerment, inspiring others to meet her clarity and intention. Her example demonstrates that non-negotiable standards are not barriers but gateways to a life of true freedom and purpose. 7. Curating the Inner Circle, cultivating relationships that elevate the soul. The company we keep profoundly influences the trajectory of our lives. A high-value woman understands that her relationships are not merely social constructs but sacred alliances that shape her character, fuel her growth, and reflect her deepest values. She approaches the curation of her inner circle with the same discernment and intentionality that she applies to her personal development. Guided by the wisdom of Stoicism and ancient philosophies, she recognizes that surrounding herself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and uplift her is essential to living a fulfilled and purposeful life. In Stoic thought, associating with virtuous individuals is emphasized to cultivate one's virtue. Seneca advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. A high-value woman heeds this counsel by seeking relationships that foster mutual growth. She connects with those who share her commitment to integrity, wisdom, and self-mastery. These relationships are not based on convenience or superficial interests, but on a shared dedication to becoming the best versions of themselves. Her inner circle is a sanctuary of trust and support, a network of souls aligned in purpose and values. She is mindful of the energies she allows into her life, understanding that negativity and complacency can hinder her progress. Therefore, she sets clear boundaries, gracefully distancing herself from those who perpetuate drama, dishonesty, or stagnation. This is not an act of judgment, but of self-preservation and respect for her journey. Cultivating such relationships requires vulnerability and openness. A high-value woman is willing to share her authentic self, embracing her strengths and imperfections. In doing so, she invites others to do the same, creating a foundation of genuine connection. She engages in meaningful conversations, exploring ideas, aspirations, and philosophies rather than gossiping or trivialities. Her interactions are infused with empathy and intellectual curiosity, reflecting her desire to learn and grow through her relationships. Moreover, she contributes positively to her inner circle, offering support, encouragement, and wisdom. She understands that relationships are reciprocal and thrives on exchanging ideas and mutual empowerment for collaborative growth. Her presence catalyzes others to elevate themselves, just as they inspire her to reach new heights. In moments of solitude, she reflects on the quality of her relationships, assessing whether they align with her values and contribute to her well-being. She is unafraid to make difficult decisions when necessary, knowing that releasing relationships that no longer serve her is essential for creating space for new, enriching connections. By curating her inner circle with intention, a high-value woman creates an environment that nurtures her soul and propels her forward. She exemplifies the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with others while maintaining fidelity to her path. Through these carefully chosen relationships, she amplifies her potential, sustains her motivation, and enriches her life's journey. Her example teaches us that our relationship quality reflects our life quality. We cultivate a community that supports our highest aspirations by surrounding ourselves with those who elevate us, challenge us, and resonate with our deepest values. In this way, curating the inner circle becomes not just a social endeavor but a profound act of self-love and personal evolution. 8. Achieving financial prosperity, freedom through discipline and purpose. For a high-value woman, financial prosperity is not about accumulation for its own sake, but about cultivating the freedom to live authentically and purposefully. In her view, money is a resource that enables her to align her lifestyle with her values, pursue her passions, and contribute meaningfully to the world. She understands that achieving financial independence is a practical necessity and an expression of self-respect and empowerment. Rooted in the Stoic principle of self-discipline, her approach to wealth is thoughtful, intentional, and deeply aligned with her greater purpose. Financial security gives her choices to walk away from toxic environments, invest in opportunities that resonate with her vision, and give generously without strings attached. She knows that dependency on external circumstances, whether in relationships or professional settings, undermines her autonomy. By mastering her finances, she builds a foundation of stability that allows her to navigate life with confidence and clarity. Her journey toward financial prosperity begins with a mindset. She rejects scarcity thinking, the belief that resources are limited and must be hoarded, and instead adopts an abundance mentality. She recognizes wealth is not a fixed quantity but a flow that expands with creativity, hard work, and strategic decision-making. This mindset frees her from fear and enables her to approach her finances with optimism and possibility. A high-value woman is meticulous in managing her resources. She sets clear financial goals, including saving for a long-term investment, pursuing further education, or supporting a cause close to her heart. She educates herself about budgeting, investing, and wealth-building strategies, understanding that financial literacy is a critical empowerment component. Every dollar she earns is treated respectfully and allocated purposefully to reflect her priorities and aspirations. Her discipline is balanced by generosity. While safeguarding her financial well-being, she also recognizes the value of using her resources to uplift others. Guided by the Stoic virtue of justice, she gives freely where it aligns with her principles, knowing that acts of kindness and support contribute to a more prosperous, meaningful life. This balance of prudence and generosity ensures that her wealth serves not only her, but also her community and the world at large. Financial prosperity, for her, is not about excess or superficial displays of success. It is about creating a life where she can fully express her potential, unburdened by unnecessary constraints. She avoids comparing herself to others or chasing materialism for validation. Instead, she measures success by aligning with her values and making deliberate, thoughtful choices about using her resources. A high-value woman becomes a model of independence and intentionality by mastering her financial life. She demonstrates that prosperity is not merely about accumulation but about freedom, to say no to what does not serve her, to say yes to what enriches her, and to chart her path with integrity and purpose. Her approach reminds us that wealth becomes a powerful tool for personal growth and meaningful impact when handled with care and wisdom. Through her example, she inspires others to view financial prosperity as a vital aspect of self-mastery and a gateway to living a life of true fulfillment. 9. Integrating masculine and feminine energies, the balance of power and grace. A high-value woman embodies a harmony that captivates and inspires, a seamless integration of masculine focus and feminine flow. Though often seen as opposites, these energies coexist within her, forming a dynamic duality that enhances her strength and deepens her connection to others. This balance, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and ancient traditions, allows her to navigate life with clarity, resilience, and grace. This interplay defines her magnetism and makes her presence both commanding and nurturing. Masculine energy, in its essence, is action-oriented, assertive, and disciplined. It is the drive to set goals, overcome obstacles, and create structure amid chaos. Feminine energy, on the other hand, is intuitive, receptive, and creative. The softness allows her to listen deeply, connect emotionally, and adapt gracefully to change. A high-value woman understands that neither energy is superior. Instead, they complement one another, enabling her to respond to life's demands flexibly and purposefully. She channels her masculine energy to stay focused and decisive in her professional endeavors. She approaches challenges with a calm determination, unshaken by setbacks or distractions. Yet, she tempers this strength with her feminine energy, which brings empathy and emotional intelligence to her leadership. She is both assertive and compassionate, commanding respect without sacrificing kindness. In her personal life, this balance creates an alluring and grounding dynamic. She nurtures her relationships with warmth and vulnerability, allowing others to feel safe in her presence. At the same time, she maintains her boundaries and stands firm in her values, ensuring that her kindness is never mistaken for weakness. This interplay of energies fosters trust and intimacy while preserving her independence and self-respect. Integrating these energies also allows her to adapt to life's inevitable fluctuations. When faced with adversity, she leans into her masculine energy to take decisive action but does not suppress her emotions. Instead, she uses her feminine power to process and heal, finding strength in her ability to embrace vulnerability. This balance ensures that she remains resilient without becoming rigid and fragile. Practically, she cultivates this harmony through mindfulness and self-awareness. She recognizes when one energy dominates and consciously brings the other into play. For example, if she is overly focused on productivity, she takes time to pause, reflect, and reconnect with her creativity. Conversely, if she feels overly passive, she sets clear goals and takes deliberate action to regain momentum. This integration of masculine and feminine energies is not a fixed state but a dynamic dance, a lifelong practice of tuning into her inner rhythms and aligning them with her outer actions. By embracing both aspects of herself, a high-value woman achieves a powerful and graceful balance, embodying the fullness of her potential. Through this harmonious integration, she becomes a beacon of possibility for others. Her life is a testament to the idea that true strength lies in balance, and true fulfillment comes from embracing all facets of one's being. In this way, she inspires us to explore and cultivate the duality within ourselves, creating lives that are not only effective but also deeply meaningful and beautifully whole. 10. Holistic self-care. Nourishing the body, mind, and spirit. A high-value woman treats self-care as a sacred practice, understanding that her well-being is the foundation upon which all aspects of her life are built. Far from being a superficial indulgence, holistic self-care is an intentional act of honoring the interconnectedness of her body, mind, and spirit. This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of maintaining harmony within oneself, recognizing that true strength and clarity arise from a life balanced in all dimensions. Holistic self-care begins with a deep awareness of the body as a vessel for vitality and purpose. She prioritizes physical health not for aesthetics, but to sustain the energy required for her ambitions and responsibilities. From nourishing herself with wholesome foods to engaging in movement that energizes and rejuvenates her, she views these habits as acts of self-respect. Rest, too, is non-negotiable. She knows that a well-rested body supports a focused mind, and she treats sleep not as a luxury but an essential investment in her productivity and resilience. As the Stoics often reminded us, the mind is the seat of our perceptions and choices. A high-value woman cultivates mental clarity through practices that sharpen her focus and foster inner peace. She integrates mindfulness into her daily routine, taking moments to center herself and reflect on her priorities. Whether through journaling, meditating, or engaging with philosophical texts, she dedicates time to nourishing her intellect and aligning her thoughts with her values. These practices ground her, enabling her to navigate challenges with composure and discernment. Equally important is the care she gives to her spirit, the source of her passion and purpose. She seeks activities that fill her with joy and meaning, whether creating art, connecting with loved ones, or immersing herself in nature. For her, spiritual self-care is not confined to rituals or doctrines. The pursuing experiences awakens her sense of wonder and gratitude. This connection to something greater than herself anchors her during life's uncertainties and fuels her aspirations. A high-value woman also understands that self-care is not about isolation but integration. She balances solitude with meaningful social interactions, surrounding herself with people who uplift and inspire her. She seeks out environments that nourish her creativity and encourage her growth, choosing spaces and communities that resonate with her values. Holistic self-care requires discipline and intentionality. It is not about perfection but consistency, the daily commitment to prioritize her well-being so that she can show up fully for her life and those who matter to her. By nurturing her physical, mental, and spiritual health, she creates a life of balance and vitality, enabling her to pursue her goals with strength and grace. Through her example, a high-value woman demonstrates that self-care is not selfish but essential. She reminds us that tending to ourselves is a prerequisite for serving others and achieving our potential. Her radiant energy, boundless creativity, and steady presence are the natural outcomes of her dedication to holistic well-being. In embracing self-care as a lifestyle, she inspires others to honor their worth and invest in their personal growth, proving that a well-cared-for life is well-lived. Conclusion. Becoming a high-value woman is not about perfection or conforming to societal expectations. It is about embracing a journey of continuous growth, self-discovery, and intentional living. It is the choice to cultivate habits that align with your deepest values, honor your unique essence, and empower you to navigate life with purpose and resilience. The high-value woman is not an unreachable ideal. She reflects the potential within each of us, waiting to be realized through commitment and practice. As you embark on this transformative path, remember that every small step matters. Whether you begin by refining your communication, setting higher standards, or dedicating time to holistic self-care, these choices create a ripple effect that will resonate throughout every aspect of your life. It is not about overhauling everything overnight, but making consistent, intentional decisions that honor your worth and vision. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that the most significant power lies in mastering ourselves, and through this mastery, we become a force of inspiration and change. Integrating these principles and habits into your life can unlock a magnetic, confident, and deeply fulfilled version of yourself. You can become a beacon of strength and grace in a world that desperately needs both. Please reflect on your learning and incorporate these ideas into your daily routine. Let this be the start of a journey that transforms how you see yourself and how the world responds to you. The path of a high-value woman is one of courage, wisdom, and authenticity, and it is yours to claim. If this message resonates with you, please join our community by subscribing to this channel. Here, we explore ideas that challenge, inspire, and empower, drawing from ancient philosophy and modern insights to help you live your fullest potential. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know which habits you're excited to adopt and how they're transforming your life. Let's continue this growth journey, one intentional step at a time.